What's up, everybody? Pastor Wyatt here with another apologetics video for you. So what we talked about last week was the cosmological argument, and that is that everything that came into existence has a cause. The universe came into existence, therefore the universe has a cause. If you didn't watch last week's video, I would encourage you to watch it because what we're going to be talking about here today is going to build off of that. Now, the cosmological argument doesn't get us to the cross, but what it does demonstrate to us is a God-shaped hole in our reality. Unshockingly, many holding to an atheistic worldview do not like this argument, and some have tried to discredit the logic and the soundness of it. Now, in order to successfully dismiss this argument, it must be demonstrated that either one or both of the premises are false or that the conclusion does not follow the premises. So we're going to look at one of these objections today. It's going to be attacking premise number 2. How do we know that the universe came into existence? Couldn't we say that the universe is infinite? It's a good question. We can conceptualize potential infinites in math. We do so all the time. However, an actual infinite is an impossibility. Let me explain. All right, so going over to our whiteboard here, what we have here is if you take 1 and you add it to infinity, what that equals is infinity. 1 plus infinity is still an infinite number of things. Well, if you take an infinite number of things and subtract 1 from it, you still have an infinite number of things. Now, if you take infinity, an infinite number of things, plus an infinite number of things, you have an infinite number of things. Now, if you take an infinite number of things and you divide it by 2, you still have an infinite number of things. So let me give you an analogy just to demonstrate this. We got Hilbert's Hotel. Now, imagine you got your everyday hotel here. You have a set number of rooms, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 rooms filled with 5 guests. Now, when a new guest arrives, if all the rooms are taken, this person that's going to be at the counter is going to say, "I'm sorry, we don't have any room for you. Can I recommend another hotel?" So that's what happens when all the rooms are taken. We're familiar with that. But Hilbert's Hotel, let's say, in Hilbert's Hotel, you have an infinite number of rooms, and Hilbert's Hotel is filled with an infinite number of people. Well, now you have a new guest who comes to Hilbert's Hotel and asks, "Hey, can I have a room?" And the person at the counter is going to say, "Of course we have room for you. I'll just take the person in room 1 and move them to room 2, and the person in room 2 to room 3, and 3 to 4, and 4 to 5, all the way up for infinity." And then what you have is you have vacancy in room number 1. But remember, before he arrived, every single room to infinity was filled. And if we're referring to our math up here, infinity plus 1 equals infinity. You move everybody up 1, you add him to room 1. What you have here in Hilbert's Hotel, you add 1 person to the room, and mathematically, you do not have any more people in Hilbert's Hotel than what you had before he checked in. How does that make any sense at all? Now, the reverse is true. Let's say a person in room 1 checks out. Well, you just shift every person down 1 room all the way to infinity, and you still have the same number of people. Infinity minus 1 is infinity. There's the same number of people at Hilbert's Hotel. The cleaning crew is still making the same number of beds every day. In fact, infinity divided by 2, if you took out every other person, room 1, room 3, room 5, all the way to infinity, you took every one of those people out. Infinity divided by 2 is infinity. You have an infinite number of people leave, and an infinite number of people simply shift down to fill the vacant rooms. Infinite number of people walk out, an infinite number of people are still in Hilbert's Hotel, the same number as before we did anything. Can anyone seriously believe that such a hotel could exist? Because this would be an actual infinite, and an actual infinite creates all kinds of absurdities and paradoxes that simply don't exist in reality. So what we can conclude from Hilbert's hotel is that an actual infinite number of things, an infinite number of rooms, an infinite number of people within time, space, and matter cannot exist. So an infinite number of things is absurd by rules of math and laws of nature. An actual infinite in a finite universe cannot exist. Likewise, we cannot arrive at infinity by just simply adding numbers together. 1 + 1 is 2, + 1 is 3, + 1 is 4, so on and so forth. If you just keep adding numbers together, you'll get to a really big number, but you will never arrive at infinity. There'll always be another number to add. So if the past is infinite and we're just progressively adding days together, we would never arrive at the present moment. Why? Because there would always be one more day in the past to add. But yet, here we are. It's impossible to count up to infinity. It's impossible to count down from infinity. You will never arrive. And since we've arrived today, the only thing that we can conclude, the universe had a beginning. So once again, the cosmological argument, it doesn't get us to the cross, but what it does demonstrate is a God-shaped hole in the world around us. Thanks.